So this lecture is about variables, and this is where I think things start to get really fun. Now, the honest truth is you've been using variables and you didn't even know it. And I'm going to show you how that all works here. So let's go ahead and first just clear everything here, okay? So we just want to have now still this public static void main, but we just want to make sure we have the space in the curly brackets. So delete everything that's in there, and now let's add some new code to this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a string, right? Just like we've done before, we're going to say string, and I'm going to call this dog. I'm going to set this equal to the name of my dog. So I'm going to say my dog's name is Fido. Then I do the semicolon here, and then I'm going to print out this string. So I'm going to do the system.out.println, remember SOUT enter, and I'm just going to type in dog, right, which is the name of the string. And then if I hit run on this, drum roll, Fido shows up down here, just like I was hoping for. So what am I going to say that will blow your mind? You've been using variables this whole time. So look at this line here where we say string dog is equal to Fido. What's interesting is that dog here, this is actually a variable. So it's a string variable, so there's different types of variables, but this thing dog is a variable, and a variable means it's something that you can change over time. So watch this. We say string dog is equal to Fido. I can now on a new line of code say dog is equal to, and I can set it equal to a whole nother kind of string. So if I say dog is now equal to Sean like this, and I do my semicolon, look what happens when I run. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the run button. It prints out Sean, not Fido. So let's talk about what's happening here. First we make this string variable, so we make, see the capital string here, this says we're making a string and it's going to be called dog. So we have a variable named dog, and it's a string variable, okay? And we set it equal to Fido. So if it were not for this line of code, we do this systemout.println, it would print Fido, just like we did before. But now we said, you know what? I want to change what dog is holding. Rather than holding the text Fido, I now want dog to hold Sean. So you see dog now is, so we say dog is equal to Sean, and now when we do the print line of dog, it doesn't print Fido anymore because now dog is holding Sean. So think of variables as kind of like a container or something that holds a piece of information. So a string variable holds text, whereas an int variable is going to hold a whole number. So string dog, right? This all looks great. Let's see what happens when we use int here. So let's go ahead and delete all of this. And I'm going to say int dog age is equal to 8, semicolon. Now you can see with variables you want to do lowercase for the first letter, and if you have any other words, do uppercase for those, and make sure you don't have any spaces. If you have a space, you're going to see we're going to get an error there. So let's go ahead and put that back like that. And again, these names for these variables, you can name them whatever you want. I'm saying dog age, and the last one I did dog, but you can name them whatever you want. Like it can be dog age, blah, 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 blah. Still completely works, right? But I want this to be dog age. So dog age is equal to 8. Let's do the system.out, right, to print this. So I'm just going to type in dog age here. And if we run this, we should have 8 show up here. Wait for Android Studio and 8. But just like we did before, if I say dog age is equal to 15, the dog's growing up, and now I hit run. Well, look what's about to happen. It says 15, okay? So do you see how variables change over time? And we can change them as much as we want. Like, so after we say dog age is equal to 8, then we change it to 15, then we, print it so it shows up there. I'm gonna change dog age one more time. I'm gonna say dog age is equal to -5, okay? Don't forget that semicolon. And then I'm just gonna copy this line again because there's nothing we need to change, and I'm gonna paste it down here. So we made dog age 8, then we're going to make it 15, we're going to print it, then we're going to change it to -5, and we're going to print it again. So notice now when we do this, it'll show 15 and then -5, because when it printed it here, dog age was equal to 15, and then we changed it to -5, and now it's -5. So notice these two lines here, the print lines, no pun intended, both the print lines they are printing out dog age as the same variable, but what's inside the variable has changed, okay? So something I want you to notice here, I'm just going to delete some of this so we go back to just the simple example here. When you were creating a variable for the first time, you can't just say something like this. We can't just say dog age is equal to 15, okay? You'll notice that Android Studio barks at us, and the reason is because dog age here, we have to specify what type of variable it will be. Because, you know, we set it equal to this number 15, so you think, oh, it should know that this is an int or something. But with Java, you have to explicitly say what type it is. So that's why we go in front of this and we say int space to say that this variable dog age here, this is an int, and it's equal to this, right? And if we want to later on, like I'm going to put this up a little bit higher here. If we want to later, we don't have to then say, you know, int dog age is equal to 4 if we wanted to change it later. In fact, we'll get an error. You don't specify that int anymore. Now you just say dog age is equal to 4, because now Java knows, okay, the first time you set up dog age, you told me it was an int variable. I will remember that whatever is inside of this variable is going to be an int. And if I try and say, you know, dog age is equal to Nick Walter, like this, we're going to have an issue. It says I can't do this because dog age is an int variable, which means whatever you put inside that variable has to be an int. So when I try and pass a string in there, right, because there's these double quotes, it's saying you can't do that. But if I try and pass some other number, it says, all right, I can totally handle that. That's fine. So one more thing I just want to show you with variables. Every time we've made a new variable, we've said, you know, int dog age is equal to 15. You can also do this kind of in two steps. You could do the first step where you say, I'm going to create a variable called dog age, and it's just going to be an int variable. We have no idea what it's equal to. In fact, it's equal to nothing. And you'll notice this is saying, hey, you know, we're going to have a problem here. If you try and run this, it's not going to work. Kind of excited to see what happens here. We see all this, you know, error, things broke or whatever. That's because you're trying to print out something, a variable that doesn't have anything inside of it. So you can say int dog age is equal to this, but then at some point you have to assign dog age equal to something. So I'll say dog age now is equal to 8 semicolon, and just by doing that, now it works. Okay, we hit run and 8 shows up. So again, you can do it in two steps. You can say int dog age semicolon, which just means I'm making a new int variable. I'm not going to use it. It's called dog age, but then later set it equal to something. Or you can just kind of all in one shebang, which I really recommend, is just say int dog age, which is saying I'm making a new int variable called dog age, and I'm setting it equal to 8. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too much information for you, but variables are a great piece of Java that you really need to know. So here is a challenge for you. Remember, I think these are really important. If you get stuck, I want you to struggle a little bit. So let's go ahead, delete everything. What I want you to do in this challenge is I want you to create a int variable, okay? Name it whatever you want, just make an int variable, change that int 2 times, and then print it. Okay, so make an int variable, change it twice, and then print it. Kind of a 3-step process there. Make an int variable, change it twice, and then print it. Pause the video now, and then once you've completed that, let's walk through it together. So hopefully that went well for you. Remember, if you struggled at all, that's a good thing. That means you're learning, your mind's going a little bit like, all right, how am I supposed to do this? Okay, so what did I ask you to do? 3 things. Make an int variable, change that variable twice, and then print it. Fairly straightforward. So let's get to the first one. Let's just make an int variable. So to make an int variable, we first start typing int, saying we want to make an int variable. Then we have to give some name to it. You can decide whatever it is that you want. I'm going to do one that's kind of fun. I'm going to say money in my wallet. Okay. So again, I kind of did that camel case thing where the first one's lowercase, but then every new word inside of the name of that string, I use the uppercase. Kind of get used to that flow. So I'm going to set it equal to something. I'm going to set it equal to 0. I'm broke right now in this situation. I got no money in my wallet. I want to go buy some stuff at like the 7-Eleven and whatnot. Okay, so I created an int variable. Next step, I need to change it twice. So let's say you signed up for my class. Woo! Use your hard-earned money, which honestly I'm very grateful for. Thank you so much for signing up for my class. It means a lot to me. So now because you signed up for my class and supported this, I get to put some money in my wallet. So I'm going to say money in wallet, and I'll just hit enter to use that autocomplete, which is great. Now it's equal to 100. I don't know how much you paid for this class, but let's assume the best. Let's say you paid $100 for this, okay? Now I got $100 I can go blow at 7-Eleven, you know? Okay, so we say money in wallet is now equal to 100, okay? Then let's say I go to 7-Eleven, I get a big gulp, I get one of those hot dogs that's been spinning its own grease for like 48 hours, and I get some Fritos. That's a good little snack combo right there. So money in my wallet is now equal to, let's say, $92, okay? So I created the int variable, I've changed it twice, now all I need to do is print it, and hopefully this is just like muscle memory, you got no problems doing this. SOUT enter, then we put in the name of the variable here, money in my wallet, and kablam, if we hit the run button, we should see 92. Boom! It works, okay? We got it. Alright, so hopefully that challenge was good for you. You kind of understand what variables are now, right? They're just containers that hold a piece of information, and what's inside of that container can change. But remember, if you make like a string variable, that variable forever is going to hold just a string. If you try and put an int or something else into there, not going to work. So congratulations, good work in this. On to the next lecture.